Hey folks, it's your boy D here, and I have with me Murder Muffin, and
That's me.
we're gonna talk about Cyberpunk 2077. So it seems the folks out there that are playing this don't like it. Um, it's out on the PC. It's gotten high scores. I think it's in the 90s on Metacritic, but I mean, it sold really well. I think it's one of the best-selling pre-orders of all time for PC or something like that. But it
Some crazy
seems
numbers, dude.
the folks at CD Projekt Red didn't tell folks that on the base levels PS4 or Xbox Ones, it doesn't work. And currently on Metacritic, it has a user score of, I think, 2.5
What do they rate their stuff out of 5?
out of 100. So
The
like,
heck?
so on PC it's like 91, 92. But on PlayStation 4, it's been basically review bombed to 2.5, to where there's footage out there where you see backgrounds not showing up, the faces aren't rendering. Uh, I mean, this is literally worse or just as bad as what happened with Assassin's Creed Unity, I believe, a year or so ago, where faces weren't rendering quickly. It's pretty bad, and on many reviews, people are saying it's basically unplayable. And other folks that have been able to play it on consoles are saying things like, "Oh, it's only crashed 4 times today," or "It crashes every hour." I mean, it's that bad. Um, so my question I would like to discuss is: should CD Projekt Red have delayed Cyberpunk 2077? Now, it was supposed to come out in April of earlier this year. It got delayed to September, and then it got delayed to November, and then it got pushed back another 3 weeks. Should they have pushed it back again? What do you think?
Absolutely. Absolutely. Of course, like you and I have talked about this before. I think 100% it should have been pushed back even the first time significantly,
Mm-hmm.
right? Back in April when they're like, "Oh no, this isn't going to work." And we're having some mad issues, especially with like COVID, and that might make things even worse.
Right.
No, this had to be pushed back like a year or two
Right.
because it is
It,
bad.
it,
Like
it's
that was
it's
the
really
excuse
bad.
that they gave for like the excuse that they gave for like the last or the other pushback was like, hey guys, we're working on like 9 different platforms that we have to release this game to, and some of them just aren't up to snuff. You're right.
Yeah.
You're right, and they really should have been pushed
Yeah. And,
uh to being have a lot more production time.
yeah.
A lot.
Well, the worst part about it, and I think this is what's really hurting the reputation of CD Projekt Red, is one, they've gotten such a good fan following from the Witcher series all the way up to The Witcher 3 recently, to where they've garnered a lot of goodwill. And with
Mhm.
this, being pushed back and a lot of, hype surrounding Cyberpunk 2077, there's level of quality that is expected from them, and it was touted to be available to play for on current gen consoles. But that's not the
Mhm.
case. Obviously, if you have a decent or a high end PC, you're not having a problem. Not everybody can afford a mid to high level PC, right? Um,
Mhm.
Not everybody has a
Even
PS5.
people with high-end PCs are still having major issues.
Fair enough, yes. But not to this level, not to this degree. And they're showing,
True.
side by
True.
side comparisons where it's on PC and you see textures on, the seats on in the taxi and all this kind of stuff, to where on the PS4 you don't even see something in the background. All you see is a shade of gray. Um, it's really bad. Uh, I guess back to what I was getting at is that when this was originally marketed, to come out this year, so when they were, showing trailers back in 2019 and so forth, it was promoted to be on current gen systems, and that the current gen system at the time was PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. And
Mhm.
what's really hurting CD Projekt Red is that on those current gen systems, or last gen if you want to be really technical, it doesn't work. So a lot of folks are saying we were lied to, and it's almost to the point where you can't really argue that, because if I have a PlayStation 4 and it doesn't play on my PlayStation 4, and I spent $60 or $90 for the special edition, or $100 or $200 or whatever, this is
Hmm.
this is almost. I mean, this is really is not good, and I'm even hearing that Sony's giving out refunds. I mean, it's that bad.
Yeah,
So, I mean, I agree with you. CD Projekt Red should have, you know, bitten the bullet and said, "This needs to be pushed back. This is just not going to work."
absolutely,
And
absolutely,
probably they should have said something. If it worked on PC and on high gen systems, possibly release it for the higher gen systems, but for the lower gen, saying, guys, take our word for it. It doesn't work. Or even use, and marketing and all that. And I understand pushing it back. After you've pushed it back, what, 3 or 4 times, you're hurting yourselves and you're shooting yourselves in the foot. But I think this is hurting CD Projekt Red even more so than pushing it back another time. Even if it was another 6 months to another year, I think releasing a better
absolutely,
product would
absolutely.
have helped them out in the first place. It is my
And I
belief.
think that they
Okay.
shouldn't have done. I think that they shouldn't have done what you were just saying of a like release it for like the newer consoles
Right.
and like pushed off the later ones a
Mm-hmm.
bit. I mean, the earlier consoles,
Right.
like current gen. Because like I think that would take an even probably a huge PR hit in that like CD Projekt Red is prioritizing like next gen and like they're leaving behind all the old like the old people that really are trying to support them. I think that would have been a horrible like PR move.
And
So I think
that's
they either should have pushed everything back or probably should have focused on PS4 and Xbox One X first. Like that should have been what they've been working on like this entire time, and then next gen should have been like
right.
what they worked on next.
Well, this
You
kind of
know,
leads to
I think.
also to the question is, when the footage that they were showing, back in 2019 and so much and so forth, what were they showing? What systems were they showing it on? If they're saying this is coming out on PlayStation 4 and showing everything looking all nice and a million people in the background, and that's clearly not the case now. Was it playing on
Hmm.
was the footage we were showing on a PlayStation 4, or was it on a
Oh
very
no
high end
way.
PC? I think it's going to get down to the point where, one of the ramifications of this is we might see a new, either a industry standard or maybe something law wise that says, hey, the footage you're showing has to show the specs of what we're seeing. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause a
Yeah.
lot of times we're seeing it says, oh, shown on a PC, or in-game footage, or this might be simulated footage, and final footage might be different. I think it's going to get to the point where if they show gameplay, we're going to have to know as the consumers, what
Exactly what kind of
exactly what this
schematics
is
are
claiming.
being done on.
Exactly. This is on a PS4. This is on a PS4 Pro. This is on a PS4 Pro with a SSD, or a
Hmm.
PS5, or what
Because
have you.
obviously they're gonna keep on like only showing like the really pretty pieces of like footage that they can get, you
Exactly.
know. But at
Unless you're
least
Halo.
you'll know that those pretty, huh?
Unless you're Halo Infinite.
Wait. Oh, but like at least then you know that like that kind of like image can at least run on that console. Because
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure that everything that was shown for Cyberpunk was probably run on like this perfect rig PC,
That
100%.
right. And it's been
There's no way it was
optimized to
run on
the
like a PS4.
right, and it's been optimized to the nines, and it's unfortunate. I have to say that I think they've really really hurt themselves, um, yeah, as a company, because with Witcher 4 or whatever else is coming out. Anyway, I think we both agree it should have been pushed back. So
Yeah, I think they've lost like a lot of trust with people as well, probably because of this.
yeah,
Um, and because at this point, and I don't think this is correct, right? And I think that people who over expect because a game has been pushed back, um, even several times, I think that's inaccurate. But because this game has been pushed back so many times, and because people do expect the game to come out perfect, you should have pushed it back at least one more time until it was good. Because this came out bad.
right.
It came out trash and unplayable for a lot of people.
Unplayable, yeah.
Um,
To the point where I
and
think they're not releasing major patches. They're releasing like minor patches just to get rid of what fix what they can at a time. After they fix let's say 10 issues, boom, small patch, and they're just work. I guess they're working.
Yeah, it's
They're
almost
doing,
like daily patches.
yeah, it's insane. So
Mm-hmm. It should
anyway,
have come out early access, Cyberpunk early
yeah, no
access.
kidding. All right, folks. So
But they,
go ahead.
I said, but they basically like screw over like the largest group of their audience, which is like current gen consoles.
Yeah, I agree. It has a huge, bigger install base, and they're gonna have to do a lot of, for lack of a better term, restitutions to get that level of trust back. But
Mm-hmm.
what do you guys think of Cyberpunk 2077? Do you think they should have released it, or do you think they should and just patch it continually, or do you think they should have pushed it back? Let us know in the comments below. If you like what we had to say, hit that like button. If you like to hear more of what we had to say, hit that subscribe button. And we'll talk to you guys next time. That's been Murder Muffin. It's been me. We'll talk to you guys later.